Hey there guys, welcome back. This is Connecting with the Witchling, and this week's Witchling is protection. And the little bit on the card at the bottom, which you can't see, says create sacred space to keep uninvited energy out. From the book, Delphinium's protective spirit is made from such marvellous things, love and light and everything bright will keep her safe under shielding wings. Protection magic is like having an invisible security system around yourself or your home, keeping danger out as well as warning you of approaching danger. We all feel vulnerable sometimes, and a protection spell can be very empowering. Psychic attack occurs when dark and negative energies are sent from one individual to another, creating disturbances. Negative energy can also show up in the form of an entity, which can create harmful effects if intentions are bad. Whatever it is you need to protect yourself from, always remember that you're not helpless. Forewarned is forearmed. You can build a circle of energy to keep destructive forces out. Negativity can build up anywhere, so it's important to shield yourself from its unhealthy influence. And then it goes on to do spells, but we shan't read those because I prefer to do my own. Off the back of this, I'm going to do a protection series, so a mini series throughout the week. I will do a few different videos about psychic protection. Okay, so let's have a look at the Witchling herself. So first and foremost, she stood in a protective circle. You can see the little owls there. The little owl is in all of them, by the way. It's just where it's positioned. The circle is intact. It's obviously a circle of protection, really. You know, circles are often used in paganism, in witchcraft, as being very protective things. Not everybody uses circles for protection, and there are other reasons for casting circles as well. But it's one of the most well-known forms of psychic protection when doing spell work. And what unfortunately is often forgotten is that it's about creating a sacred space, a environment, a special energy around yourself in honour of the deity you're communing with, the Sabbat you're honouring, the ritual you're performing, the energy you're putting out into the world asking for something else. It's not necessarily just about protection. So the circle can go above and beyond the protection element of this card. So she's holding her broom in front of her in a very defensive position. It's a protective image. It's almost stave-like, it's almost warlike in its holding of the stance. The arms are in a sort of very set position, which is a very strong, firm stance. The whole of her stance is supposed to be strong and firm, with her feet slightly apart so she's steady, and her arms in the position to hold the broom like a weapon in front of her. It's a very strong, very grounded, very firm position, and as a result there is no movement in her or at all really in the card. You could argue the stars around her, the magic around her is a little bit movement, but as to with her hair is straight down, there's no movement there. The broom is very sturdy, very held, very still, and the charms are straight down off it, so there is no movement, there is no allowing for anything to get through her. It's a barrier, it's protective, it's firm and blocking out anything that might harm. in this circumstance. There is a moon and a star on her hat and another crescent moon up top. I'm trying to figure out what the plant is supposed to be. You can let us zoom in. Not really. It could be anything really, couldn't it? I mean, it sort of reminds me of a dandelion, or it could be sage. I mean, it's very difficult to tell from such a little image. There's also a lot of red as well as blue in this image. Blue is an interesting choice. The red makes a lot of sense. So your red is your stop sign, and your personal power as well. You know, when I think of red, I think of dragon's blood resin, and I think of that sort of boost to self-power. It's empowering, and that's meant to be sort of background, I think, for this card. You have the self-power to protect yourself, so do it. The handle of the broom is a sort of paler red. It's not pink, it's still red, and then like her hat and her legs are the red as well. So as above, so below. What you're putting out, you're getting back. So if you put out protection, you will be protected. If you're putting out negativity, you're going to get negativity back. That sort of thing. And her hair and cuffs are a very vibrant red as well. The hat curves right round, and it doesn't look like movement, it just looks like that's the way that the hat is, and it still looks quite stiff, which is oddly enough, even though it curves round. But I think when the hats are curving inwards, there is an element of personal responsibility in this case, but it would be personal energy throughout the rest of the cards. So it's up to you to protect yourself. It's within your power, but it's also your responsibility to do it. And I think that's going to be it for this card. Yep, I think so. Okay, many blessings.